Hey everybody, this is just me checking in. I know I haven't done a podcast or a video on YouTube in quite a while, and I think I've peppered a few in there just because I was thinking about it at the time. I haven't done anything in quite a while, like that was planned, like I was doing there for a while, and I'm not done. I'm letting y'all know I'm gonna make a comeback. I'm gonna keep doing the shows and stuff like that. What I'm going to do, what I'm doing today is saying how I'm going to be doing it because it actually does matter. I'm going to basically be doing the same show on YouTube that I do for the podcast. So if you want to watch it on YouTube, you can watch it on YouTube, or if you want to listen to it as a podcast, that's fine. But with the age we live in right now, with everybody getting censored and blacklisted and shoved to the bottom of the algorithm, and I actually want people to listen and watch. So I'm going to start posting on not only YouTube but Rumble as well. And there's going to be some stuff that I might get banned on YouTube for. So just if you're not subscribed to the podcast, I'm on all major platforms, and you can also catch me on Rumble eventually after I figure all that out. But I mean, you like okay, for instance, you can't even question the vaccines or COVID or anything like that. If you try to even talk about it or have just a discussion, like an opinion, piece, so to speak, you get labeled misinformation, or you get taken down, or you get a copyright, or you get a strike of some sort. I was going to say copyright strike, but anyway, and like the Kyle Rittenhouse case, I wanted to talk about that, but anybody that tries to paint him in a light other than a white supremacist that crossed state lines illegally gets, you know, they pretty much get demonetized. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I can talk about on the podcast that if I try to talk about on YouTube, I'll get demonetized, and I don't know how the monetization thing works on Rumble, so I'm trying to keep my YouTube record clean as possible because I am trying to make a professional go at this. As I get more money, it will pick up in quality, and I'll start getting more guest hosts and co-hosts and stuff like that. But I'm in the process of figuring it all out because I just lost a lot of my funding, and it's been a rough couple of years with all of the craziness going on. So just make sure you like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you're catching me in the audio only portion, make sure to write a review, give me a like, all that cool stuff, because it does help. And I'm eventually going to start like a Patreon, and or not. I don't know about Patreon because they're kind of douchey. Because okay, I only want to use things that I believe in. I believe YouTube could be a force for good if they quit imposing tyrannical, I guess you could say, basically the way their terms and conditions are. It's just at a whim. If they feel like it offends people, they can just, like, there's no set rules. I mean, Steven Crowder is a great case in point. He didn't break any of their guidelines, but they're still like demonetizing his videos and censoring some of them and taking them down, and he didn't break any of the guidelines. They can't give him a timestamp, they can't give him a subject matter, they can't do any of it. So, and I'm sorry if you have to censor what people are saying because it makes you look bad. That's tyranny. I mean, that's fascism. I mean, shutting down a dissenting opinion because it's not your opinion. That is fascism at its core. And I don't. I'm hoping. I'm hoping that we turn all that around. And that's honestly one of the reasons I'm staying on YouTube, is because there's a lot of people that get their shows there. They don't know about Rumble, or they, for some reason find it difficult to go on Spotify and look up stuff like that. Like, they will only see me on YouTube. So there's that. And I mean, there's, like, okay, for instance, the Young Turks. I occasionally peruse them just to see what they're saying about things, and I'll check out when I look at the news. I look at all different angles. I don't just look at one angle. And they are framing these people that were trying to beat Kyle Rittenhouse to death, and the last guy who wanted to shoot him. They are labeling them as victims. No, they were the aggressors. No matter how you look at it, Kyle Rittenhouse is the victim. He was in Kenosha helping. And yet the news media frames it to where he's just some sort of white supremacist with a white hood trucking through the damn streets with his MAGA hat and his, okay. And then they started attacking the judge, for instance, for having a pro-American ringtone. Like, you're not even allowed to be proud of where you're from without being labeled a Trumpian, whatever the hell that is. That shit is so stupid. Donald Trump lost, supposedly. Get over it. Stop bringing him up in every conversation. The Republicans don't. We don't know if Donald Trump's going to run again in 2024. But guess what? We're not voting for Biden again. If Trump don't run, we'll look at our options. Hell, at this point, Kanye West would have done a better job. Let's talk about that one. I mean, hell, Jo Jorgensen, she was the independent or moderate, whatever you want, the Gold Party or whatever. She actually would have been a great president. Like, I think she'd have been damn good. I mean, Ted Cruz would have been a good president. You know why? Because he actually pushes American values. I mean, you have all these people that were like tarring and feathering him before, saying all this utter bullshit. Like, it's politics. They're gonna frame it the way they want to frame it. Like, I actually lost a friend who said that I was aligning with the axis of evil. What the hell does that mean? Because I think Ted Cruz is all right. Because Donald Trump was the first president in years to enter the TMZ and try to negotiate some sort of peace treaty with Kim Jong-un or Il or whatever his name is. So, I mean, he wasn't scared of these people. He would go talk to them. And, I mean, they were world leaders. He's a world leader. He had meetings with world leaders. I mean, it's not like Joe Biden and his, quid pro quo shit with the, if you want your support aid packet, you'll fire that prosecutor. I mean, that's not how you handle shit on the world stage. I mean, you don't blackmail somebody. I mean, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think Joe Biden is a dirtbag. Like, he has crippled our economy so far. I mean, canceling pipelines and all these bullshit mandates have drove most companies back out of the country. All the ones that were coming home and making life cheaper on all of us because they didn't have to ship it overseas. Killing all these pipelines, which is driving gas prices up. Because I'm sorry, people that say the president does not control gas prices does not know what they're talking about. If the president shuts down pipelines, that means we have to spend more money getting oil here. That means they're going to charge more. Whenever they charge more for their gas, whenever the trucks have to fill up, they're going to charge more for their deliveries, which means our groceries and goods go up. All of this inflation is because of Joe Biden's mandates and his BS of all of the inflation is due to his mandates and the driving up of the gas prices. And if you don't see that, I'm sorry. It's pretty easy to see. I mean, it really is. And then the way he has pretty much single-handedly funded terrorism in the Middle East, he just left taxpayer-paid military equipment over there, like with a little red Biden bow. I guess with his it'd be a blue Biden bow, and probably have ice cream cones on it or some shit, because idiot. And oh, there's just so much wrong with this country right now. And it's sad because I want to talk about it, but I don't know where my, how far I can go without YouTube taking it down. So that's why I say, even if you're watching me on YouTube, go find me on Spotify, because if they do happen to take it down and you actually are interested in what I'm saying, because I mean, I do more than political shit. Like, I do movie reviews. I like talking about everything. I do. The only reason I talked so much about politics there for a while last year is because that was the only thing going on in the news. Political shit. Like, I want to start doing movie reviews again, because I mean, there's decent movies coming out, and then there's some not so decent movies, but I'm still going to watch them anyway, because I want to give honest opinions of them, because we all know Rotten Tomatoes doesn't know what honesty is if it kicked them in the teeth. Well, that's all for now. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.